Hey guys, it's me, and I had a request to do my scarf wraps, and I wanted to do a makeup tutorial with it. Since today is going to be my green day, and I've gotten many, many compliments on my shadows for green. There are two companies that I usually use, and one of them is Makeup Revolution, and the other one is Leanne's Wax Creations. In the mix now, I actually have another company called Jessie Girl that I gotten from Nunu the Hair Diva. So, with that said, as you can see, I've got my cap on. My hair's already oiled. It's put back, and what's left of it anyway. And I'm ready to go on my makeup. And I actually started doing my makeup and said, oh, wow, I might as well just film this as a tutorial for you guys. So the first thing I'm actually doing is, right now, is I'm trying to find something to cover, the mirror on this. So we can go ahead and finish the tutorial, or rather start it. Now, I started and I put on an e.l.f. primer, which is the e.l.f. glitter primer, and that's that. And I put that basically all over my lid. Now I'm following the dimensions of my lid. Normally I don't, and I stop it, and then I go up. Today is totally different. I'm actually following the V of my eye line. If you have a V of your eye line, that's fine. If not, you can just overpronounce it with a piece of tape, or do this normal. Either way, it works great. The first color I've actually used is, and I don't know if you guys can see it, it's this color, and it is a dark, dark green. Sorry guys, I've been using this a whole lot. And that's the first color that I'm using. And that's the color that I actually am using at the corner here of the V to make the V stand out. And I always fill in my V. Most people don't fill in their V. I mean, that is your prerogative. And I always drag a little bit to the center as I'm blending out. I'm not adding any more color to this brush. I'm just blending out. And of course, because I'm hard-handed on the Makeup Revolution stuff, it does actually fall out for me because I'm really hard-handed lately. I don't know why. And I'm also not tapping it, which I really need to learn to do again, instead of, not tapping it and having so much fallout, which is basically my own fault. And I just want to bring that into the center of where I'm putting my actual line. See, what I'm actually doing is I'm actually going to make my eye stand out. Making it darker and dragging it into the center of your crease will actually make your eyes stand out with the other colors. It's hard to explain, but it's easier to understand because my V on the outside is the V that most people would have above their eye. Mine actually sits where the crease is, so it gives me an opportunity to drag my shadow. So basically, if you do not have a V at the end of your eye like this, naturally, you're going to want to take this and put this in your crease and go back and forth from the middle to the end. After you're done with that, I'm always using the same brush, and this one is a flower, and this is LC1 by Flower, and this is given to be my Nunu the Hair Diva, and this thing is great. This is such a cute little brush. I adore this brush. It gets so much use now. It's just crazy. I get so much use. The next color that I'm going to use is this, I don't even know what to call it. It's like a dirty green, I guess. It's not light like this or this, and it's not dark. It's the third one down in the palette of Mermaids Forever, and it's that one. The last one is a dark brown, and I'm not interested in browns. I'm interested in the greens today. So that one actually shades over the green that you just put down to give it extra little sparkle I always like my green to sparkle. I don't know if anybody else does. I also did not tap out my brush. So of course I just made a mess. Ugh. Of course today, right? Make sure you stop at the center here, because if you go too far, it's going to become a muddy mess. Center here is where you want to stop. No further. Once you got that down, you want to pick up another color of green. Now I'm going to go into this green right here, which is the lighter. And down away from camera, you don't see, I have the Leanne's Wax Creations green, which is a forest green, which is similar to this. And that's kind of what that looks like together on my brush. And I'm going to take that from that dark green and put it in the center of my eye, just on my eyelid itself. No place else. And of course, my lids are stubborn. Since they're a little older, I have to actually grab the edge, pull it taut, and be able to go across without hitting the end. You do not want to go towards the actual tear duct too far, because then you won't have any place to drop a lighter color. And I'm going to pick up that color again from the Makeup Revolution palette, and the palette, well, the container that I have from Leanne's Wax Creations, and I'm going to do the same to this side. And I am so not worried about the fallout right now, because I can clean that up in a bit. Now, you will have a little bit left, and if you're not liking the top, because I'm not liking that top, for some reason it didn't blend out right to me, so I'm just going to go in and fix that line and blend it out a little bit more. But I'm going to blend it out a little bit more with the green that's already on my brush, so it just sparkles a little bit more. It's no big deal. Of course, we're going to have a lot of cleanup. That's normal. Okay, those are done. Now comes the fun part. You take the Jesse's Girl, and this is my favorite, which is Kiwi Rose. And I'm going to put that by the tear duct. I'm tapping it in the powder because this is a loose powder. Then, of course, if you need to grab the edge, go ahead and grab the edge of your eye. You want to swing this up, and I'm notorious for this, and people actually do the ooh-ah of it. You want to put it in the tear duct and sweep it up to that line that you made where your eyeshadow had stopped, and connect them. Go a little bit over it in the center so it looks like one color falls and blends in. And then you do the same thing to the other side. You should have enough product on the brush to do it on both sides. If not, and you were light-handed, I'm always heavy-handed, you can go back. Also, if it's not bright enough, you can go back as well. Now, so far, you've already put 3 colors on your eyes. Now, we're going to drop a 4th. Now, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we're going to drop a 5th. You have 4 colors on your eyes. I'm going to clean up the mess that I made because I really don't like the issue with that. And normally, I would pop out the inspired stuff, but right now we're in the middle of it, and I just want to clear up the extra that's like sitting on the sides underneath here, so I know exactly the way this look is coming out. Now, this is a dark green, and it's a pigment powder, and it's from Leanne's Wax Creations, and I'm going to show you guys this. And this is actually lighter because I just mixed in Kiwi Rose and Majestic Green together. I think I need a little bit more Kiwi Rose. Okay. And I'm trying to get a mixture for center eye. Now, I like doing this in stages, so if you guys are not, you know, sitting there and following step by step and think this takes, you know, too long, then, you know, just let me know. You know, you want a faster one, which is impossible. And I basically won't film it anymore. But since this was asked, and I do what I'm asked. Okay, so in this container, I have the Jessie's Girl Kiwi Rose, and I have it in the Jessie's Girl lid. And then I have Leanne Wax Creations. It's a dark green. And together, I want to take it and I just want to pop it here. It's just for a color pop. Now here seems too much of a, how do you say it? It looks too blue than green. So I'm going to show you guys a cute little trick. And I've only discovered this recently with e.l.f. Cosmetics, that you can actually do this with their primers. Now I'm going to take the e.l.f. primer, and I've already washed my hands before I do my makeup, and I suggest you guys do the same, because I do not rub the tip of the e.l.f. across anything. I just take a little bit on my finger. This is also how I put on my glitter. And what you want to do is tap it in the center of your eyes, where you have that green, and then go over that aqua color. It's like a bluish green. And tap that color there. I love those actual eyes. Then you want to take the color mixture that you just used, and you want to tap it on that. It'll make it darker, but it'll make it a darker green, and then it'll just pop and stand out. Now, if you need it darker because it's too light, I mean, that's up to you. I don't mind it. That is actually a shimmery color, and that's actually one of my favorites. Those two together are absolutely gorgeous. Now, again, it is Kiwi Rose, which I got from Nuna the Hair Diva, which is from Jessie's Girl. And it is so pretty. And then you want to mix Leanne's Wax Creation, and it's the darkest one that you can get. And that is the Forest Green. And that actually comes out like highlighted eyes. Now, when you come up to me, it probably looked like one of those, you know, Grinch Stole Christmas right now. Because of how, you know, crazy this makeup actually looks. Only because I haven't cleaned underneath yet. So, with that said, I'm going to clean off my brush a little bit here. And I'm going to go and grab a Gossamer brush. And this is one of those brushes that has that beveled edge to it. I love Gossamer brushes. I don't know why, I just do. They just seem to fit so nicely in my hand and everything. And, you know, it's just really light, and I kind of nicked one end. Really, you know, upset about that, but what can you do? Now, what you want to do is you want to take the dark and move it over, so you're blending dark with light together. Just in that little area you put the extra light, so it doesn't fall out and make it too light. Because you've got a light on light, a light on light, and you want to make sure that that line comes down towards your lid and makes everything look like it's blended perfectly. This is an optical illusion, and I've used it a couple times, and people have asked me how the heck I do it. I do get stopped at the library a lot when I'm there, and they're like, oh my gosh, you have so many colors, and they're all blended together, and they look great, and it's just a matter of picking the right blush and blending, and that's really all it is. And of course, I go back and forth on the top just to make sure. And I'm doing it in soft, fast strokes to where my bristles are not actually getting stuck or anything. And now, of course, I overblended, so I made that pitch there, which I'll fix in a minute. And I'll show you how easy it is to fix it. All you need is a piece of cotton, towel, whatever, and your makeup remover. Mine happens to be the Inspired by Dead Sea. I only got a little bit left. I use it makeup every single day, so I'm kind of using this a lot. And then all you want to do is, because you put too much, you just go and take it off. I know, that's kind of cool, right? It seems, while I'm here, I'll clean up the rest of the mess here that I made, because I really did make a mess. It seems like the Inspired by the Dead Sea has in it enough of the Dead Sea minerals to actually take off makeup. So those of you who have other products that I've mentioned a while ago that have Dead Sea minerals in it, just remember they will take off your makeup. Now, if you have an issue and you don't like this here, today I'm having an issue with it, I don't want it there. What you want to do is you want to take and go downward. It picks that up, and you want to do the same here so they're actually even. Otherwise, you're not going to get it even, and I've had that happen like numerous times, actually lately. Of course, I always hit the side that I'm not supposed to hit, and then I have to fix it. It just happens that way, and it happens that way. And I mean, on camera, you guys can't see it. I can. It happens. I've done before, but I always carry, extra, which is not a big deal. And I just add it and go. I mean, ta-da. And no, I don't wear any foundation or anything like that during the day, especially in the hot days. I have seen women who wear so much makeup, their makeup actually melts off their face. So, no. We're in, right now, like the 60s, 70s mark, and next week is going to be the 80s mark, and I am just not feeling it. I'm just not feeling the fact that I want to actually deal with that and deal with that gunk on my skin. I mean, I could use the Adovia, which is my favorite, which is my mineral powder, but just don't feel like it today. My liner, I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or not. I mean, I like this look like it is, and I don't want to add any black, but if you wanted to, you can use an essence liner and go across it. Stay away from the white kiwi rose or the white that you put in the tear duct. Any colors you can use for the eyeshadows. A dark green on the outside, a medium green for the eyelid, and a white there. You can always mix your white with a green and make it into something just like kiwi rose, and you'll be perfectly fine. And now, for the wonderful scarf tutorial, which I am dreading because, my camera's been having issues, and I think it's because the lighting in here isn't too good on up there. I'm missing a bulb again, bulb blue, so yeah. But today is Green Day, and and not the band. And you guys know I just love green, so it's like that. I have this, and this is a 2-in-1. Actually, it has 3 colors in it. Okay, it's got a light green, which is almost the color of that kiwi rose that we made, and then it's got a medium color, which is in the center, and then you have a dark color. And then also, because I'm going to do a tie over, we have this scarf. And this scarf is so pretty, guys. I don't know if I showed this to you guys before. It has these designs on it, flowers on it, you know, I mean, roses in the center. And it's like yellow and green together. So that will be my sash. And this is how this really goes. It's not that difficult. You always take, now you can be somebody who takes the light part, and I'm going to show you this. And the light part, okay, the light part may look really good on some people, but, you know, I'm just holding it. Now, today it might look good on me. Usually I do the dark. Now, it's up to you which side you're going to use. You're going to use the dark or you're going to use the light. I think today I'm in the mood, so let's use the light. And what you want to do is you want to have one short side and one long side. And make sure you move it at least so, you know, the front of your cap is actually covered. Now, you want to make a knot is you want to pick this end, okay, and go over the long piece, and then put your hand up underneath and pull the long piece through, okay? And when you take the long piece through, you can fix the scarf in the front. I mean, I like it right on the edge of the black or whatever, you know, headscarf I'm wearing at the time. I mean, that's up to you. Most people like more coverage. Some people don't. I mean, that's just all up to you on what you want to do. Okay? Making sure this is tight. Please do not over-tighten it because you will have an issue. Now, you can double knot this if you'd like or not. I mean, it's up to you. Scarf styles are scarf styles. I usually, as you can see, it gives a little pocket here. So I can actually take this end and tuck it away. Or I can take this end after double knotting it and tuck it in away. So I'm going to show you this. And I'm not going to take this out twice. So what you're going to do is you're going to tie another knot, which is really, really simple. Okay? And that's just so it doesn't move off your head. Because during the day we move our head like crazy. Now you have it on this side. Usually have it on the left side. Today the fringes are on the right side. It depends how you tie it. That's not a big deal. And you want to take this bugger, this long piece. Now you could throw it over here and have something like this. And you just, towards the back, I mean, you do this. I mean, it's really easy and simple. That's not what I want to do today because I want to use the sash. So the sash will actually go into this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to hide it at the back here. Underneath here is a pocket. And I'm taking this and stuffing it in that pocket. Do-do-do. And then it takes so long because it's so long of a scarf. And you tuck it all in there, and that gives you a bunch of volume in the back. Because, of course, I have to have a place to put it. And make sure you get all your fringes and stuff in there, too, because that's just a pain in the neck when it's not in there. Okay? Now, that gives you that. Now, the sash. When you have a sash, you want to fold it. You always want to fold your sash inward on itself. Okay? So you fold it. Then you fold it again. And I mean, you could fold it as tiny as you want or as big as you want. I mean, that's all up to you and which design you want too. And then you just grab a hold of it in the center. And the sash is what sits here. So what you want to do is you want to place it there and make sure your sash isn't falling apart like mine is. Of course, mine likes to be difficult. And since this is a sash, usually you want two ends the same. And your sash sits below your ear. So you're probably going to want it under, and I'm struggling here today. I don't know why. You're going to want it underneath that first one. That's just a sash. It sits there. It looks all pretty. You can have that there. Now you're wondering what happened to that little piece, this little guy. Well, you can have the fringes if you want. I like this sticking out, so I am going to double knot this and leave it hang, because that is my sash and that is the way I like it. And I can make it as big or small as I want on my head. That's not a big deal. But this little guy, now some people do this with it and then tuck the fringy bits underneath like this. But that kind of looks weird, doesn't it? At least to me, because it's always off center with mine. And I don't know why, but today she's not cooperating with me. But you can also take it and do what I did in one area, and you could sit there and you could braid it. And I've been braiding a long time, so I mean, you can braid it as tight or as loose as you want. And then that sits there. And of course you could put a hair ribbon around it and leave it there, and that'll stay at the bottom. And then you have that. Now you can also, because this is so bulky back here, you can also go in and take that out if you need to. If it's too bulky, or you want to put the small one in, or, you know, that's your choice. But that is super duper easy, and, you know, I've had people ask me all the time about that. And I mean, that gives too much volume for me. I am not a camel hump person. I never was. And I never had enough hair that was that thick to even do that with. So that kind of, you know, that is not me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull, or at least I'm going to try. I'm going to pull that out of the back. And I'm going to put in, without catching my necklace, the smaller end up there. And of course this is falling off, so I'm probably going to have to redo it. But this makes it a whole lot easier with the smaller end. It's not as big and it's not as bulky. And you could sit there and you can wrap this around. You want the darker end to show, whichever end you want to show. I always want the darker end to show. And I put it like halfway back. And then I do not tie it. People tie it. I do not tie this. I put it through itself. Okay, and then, and of course it is like 100 and something degrees under these lights. I don't know why people use these except for they're just trying to save money. But they also don't spend as much time as I do in the bathroom showing you guys interesting things. But that's that. Okay? Just make sure that you have enough coverage here so you're not showing your hair. And that's basically the cutest little thing you've seen. Now that's what it looks like in the back. It's not, you know, it doesn't have huge volume. If it does, you could always squish it down because it's only one little piece. And that's it. They're basic and easy. If you wanted, you can go back in and under and over with the sash. Okay, under and over means, you know, sit there, put it in, loop it. I'll do this real quick. To put it in, okay, pull it to the back, loop it around, do it again. And that's that. Okay? It's real super duper easy. And you do that all the way around until you get to the end. And you bring this towards the back. and then you tie them when they're all the way over here. Very simple, very easy. And I figured I would show you guys this tutorial because I was asked on how I actually wrap my wraps, and that is basically it. I am not doing anything that's like major or huge. So with that said, be good to each other, guys. I'm on my way to the library. I'll see you in the next video. We have a review coming up. Another review that we got something from CleopatrasChoice.com that we want to actually review, and we'll review that in just a bit. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys. Be good to each other.